Hello everybody, welcome to week 4, I think, of Halloween-a-thon. Oh my god. You might remember, at the end of last week, on Friday, today's Saturday, Zach had an injury at work and he damaged his eyelid severely. It's like he has 2 separate eyelids on his right eye. It's pretty gnarly. So I went, once he was like finally admitted to a room, put in a room like for waiting until he could find, and until somebody told him something about what was going on. So I went over there. I spent, I don't know, most of the evening there. And I mean, I'm very frustrated with the situation, and I can't imagine how frustrated Zach is probably, because this happened at like 11 a.m. on Friday. He got to the ER about an hour later because first, him and his coworker didn't know how bad the injury was. They couldn't really tell, and they went to an urgent care. And urgent care is like, oh yeah, we can't do anything about that. So then they ended up going to the ER. So he was waiting from probably noon till 5 p.m. to get put in a room. For like 3 hours, he was just sitting in the ER hallway waiting for a room, which is insane. I mean, I know that's just how it is, but like, they're like, oh, we gotta do this surgery soon so your eyelid doesn't start to heal. And it's like, yeah, duh. Okay, so then by the time I get there, they're putting him in a room. There were 3 people who said he could eat until midnight, which in my mind means he can eat until midnight because he's not going to have surgery today. There's no chance he's going to have surgery tonight. And not only that, but the hospital brings him a dinner. So that's like 4 indicators telling us he's okay to eat, and he is fucking starving because he hasn't eaten since Friday morning. And now it's like 6:30 Friday evening. And he's like a big muscly guy, and he like eats a lot. So he's like not only hurt, but like fucking starving, and I'm sure like just not feeling very good. So he scarfs down the fucking hospital food, and then Zach's mom brought us dinner too. So he scarfed that down too. He was starving. And I'm not even fucking kidding. 20 minutes after he ate, someone comes in and they're like, okay, I'm talking to pre-op right now. When did you last eat? And we're all like, what? And she's like, when did you last eat? And he's like, I literally just ate. And she's like, well, what'd you eat? And then she's looking at me, and I'm like, I don't know. He had salmon. He had couscous and quinoa. He had teriyaki beef and brown rice. Like he just ate like 2 full meals because he was fucking starving. And they're like, okay, well, they can't put you under anesthesia like this because they have to put him under anesthesia for the surgery, which makes sense because his eyeball can't be moving around and shit. He has to see a plastic surgeon, which I'm sure also makes things more complicated, but it's like, what in the, like, he was okay not eating if that meant he could have this surgery tonight. He wants to be out of there. I left around 9. I had to go pick Lavi up from the birthday party she was at, and I talked to him this morning, and he said at some point after I left, which I had to have been like kind of late then, the doctor came in, and like the actual doctor who's going to be working with him. This is the first time he's spoken to Zach, and he said, obviously they can't do the surgery tonight. And Zach's like, yeah. Because like when the nurse left, she was like, well, we'll see in like 2 or 3 hours. It's like, why? If you have to wait at least 8 hours, why would it be okay if he just had a huge amount of food? Like, it just doesn't make sense, right? So we figure it's not happening tonight. Surgeon tells Zach it's not happening tonight. But then he also said, I don't know about tomorrow. And I asked Zach, like, does he mean he doesn't know like what time tomorrow? Or he doesn't know if it'll happen tomorrow at all? And Zach said he didn't specify. So it's just really fucking annoying that they let him eat food. And they're all like, we don't want this wound to close up. So they're going to have to like do weird, grosser things to it to be able to sew it back together. If they can, like, what if they can't do that? What if they can't do it because it's healed so much? It's freaking me out. He has like, his eyelid is split in half, you guys. I mean, he can't just like live like life like that. When he closes his eye, his eyelid is separated. I'm getting all the animals together, or getting them taken care of so that I can go over there right now. This just is such a trash situation. Also, like, what is the cost of this? And does something like, I mean, obviously there's going to be a workers' comp claim, because when you do the intake, the hospital asks you, like, where did this happen? And they have every employer should have workers' comp insurance because of this. So I'm just like, I don't know if workers' comp covers everything. I know it doesn't cover 100% of lost wages. Does it cover 100% of medical bills? I don't know. So I need to look into some stuff, and just like, I don't know. You're not going to be seeing this as this is happening or anything, but like, cross your fingers that he gets seen today. He's able to have this surgery today, because otherwise I'm going to be so fucking furious, because it's literally not his fault that he ate. I don't know even how many people told him, but in the 2 hours I was there before he ate, 3 people told him he could eat, and they brought him a meal. So like, what is he supposed to do? Be like, oh, let me check one more time. So that's my Saturday. I'm bringing a couple books with me because it's boring sitting there in a hospital room. I don't know. This is just dumb. Hanging in the hospital with Candy. I just got a call from Zach's surgeon. He, like, as soon as I filmed that video, I was gonna, you know, come down here, and he texted me and he's like, they're taking me for pre-op. So I was able to meet him and wait with him in the pre-op room. Surgery was quick, but I have to wait an hour for him to be brought back up here, because he's got to like wake up and recover, because they did have to, you know, put him under general anesthesia to do the procedure. But a surgeon said everything went fine. Should be a quick and easy recovery. He could even go back to work on Monday if he wanted to. So I'm just fucking glad that this is almost done with. I really hope he doesn't feel like shit after waking up from the anesthesia. We'll see. We're hoping we can go to this great food festival today, because we had been planning on doing that before he hurt his eyeball. So maybe we can still do that. He seemed like he wanted to do that still. I was like, oh, so we will be able to do that tomorrow. And he's like, or today. So I guess we'll see. But I am almost done with Candy. I think after, I don't know, this reveal happened, right? I told you about it yesterday, where you find out that multiple people are doing the same thing for different reasons. And then I was like, oh my god, why? But now I'm like, are they gonna tell us, or are these characters just gonna be like running around for forever? So I guess I'll find out, because I think I could probably finish this while I'm waiting for him. Hey pals, it is Monday, week 4 of Halloween-a-thon, and I do have some updates for you, as well as, you know, some things that happened this weekend. So hopefully I don't go on too long. Here's Baron. He's cleaning his toes. He's a very clean boy. He likes having clean feet, especially, huh? He's been itchy lately. I gave him a bath with some special shampoo. It doesn't seem to help. He does not have fleas. I don't think it's a food thing, because I switched his food. Although I guess I don't know. Is that like a right away fix? I guess I don't fucking know. Anyway. So, Zach was able to get his surgery on Saturday. Thank the universe, because he was pretty miserable. He said it didn't hurt very much, like his eyelid actually, which kind of makes sense, because it seems like, you know, you don't have a ton of nerves there maybe. But it was really, you know, he could close his eye, see through. Which is, oh my God, disturbing. So Saturday, he was able to have his surgery. They discharged us around like 2 p.m. We waited there. He got out of bed. He's like, I can't let them think that I need to stay here longer, because it does seem like they want to keep you. And it's like, I know you need this room. Can you please? Like, he's okay. He ate some Jello and like drank, so like his stomach was okay. He doesn't feel nauseated after the anesthesia. He can walk around. Please let us leave, for the love of Christ. And I wasn't even there the whole time. So yeah, he's feeling very pent up. Then afterwards, he still wanted to go to the Greek festival. It was nice because, you know, we had done a lot of sitting in the last couple days. So it was nice to walk around for a while. Here's some pictures. It's put on by one of the Greek Orthodox churches, and one of Zach's friends was working the Euro tent. So we went and saw him, got some special seating where like it was employees only, luckily, because it was pretty packed. And let's see, what did we eat? We had some lamb shank and rice, which was delicious, but I think because it was kind of fatty, I think it was a combination of things, but I think part of it was fatty lamb that I ate. Oh my God, I had the worst heartburn all Saturday night. So we had lamb shank and rice. We had this really delicious like roast chicken leg and thigh. We ate some feta fries, which were bomb. Oh my God, the feta was so good. It was like herbed, and it just didn't have that, it was like so creamy, and it didn't have that like kind of bitter taste sometimes feta can get like from the store. It was delicious. We had these little fried, they almost look like donut holes, right? They're little balls of fried dough called lucamates, something like that. And they're like honey fried, so they were so good. You put like a little powdered sugar and some cinnamon on them. They were so delicious. But I think the best thing that we ate on Saturday was a baklava sundae. The ice cream was so good. You could tell it was like homemade, house-made, you know, it didn't come from a carton. It was like stretchy and kind of chewy, you know, homemade vanilla, like dark, like almost gold colored vanilla. It was so good. And then they sprinkled like this like phyllo dough crumble on top, and it had some like sauce on it, and it was so delicious. And I think that also, ice cream sometimes upsets my stomach, like gives me really bad indigestion. So I think it was the lamb, the ice cream, and then I also had a really delicious coffee. So I think those three things together, on top of like just eating a lot, right? Because we got that stuff, and that was just for 3 of us. It was worth it though. It was so good. And we brought home some pastries, like this delicious apple baklava, so good. We got like some walnut cookies and a tiramisu cupcake, and it was just a great time. It was so nice to walk around. The weather was beautiful, and it was really just a good time, especially after being so cooped up. I did finish candy on Saturday. It's got my smudgy fingerprints on it. Oh my God, I had lunch at, like I went down to the hospital cafeteria and got a salad. But then once I got up to Zach's room, I realized I didn't have a fucking fork, and I didn't want to go back down there to the cafeteria, so I ate it with my fingers. So I have like greasy salad dressing fingerprints all over this. Disgusting. So did I like this? I thought that it started out in a really fun way, and then it took some turns that I thought were less interesting. In the back, it does say that this was written as like a serial, like chapter by chapter it was put out, which makes sense because sometimes it was a little disjointed. And I mean, I read it. Would I read it again? No. Am I sure who I would recommend it to? Also, no. But I'm glad I finally read it because this has been on my shelves for ages, literally ages. So that's done with. I also started one, I Think I'm Alone Now by Seay, which is about a 14-year-old named Dory who she spends a lot of time alone because of her family situation, and there was a really traumatic event that happened to her about a year ago, and after that she's noticed that some of her emotions feel very dimmed, and things that would have made her upset before now do not upset her. And she's also got this neighbor across the street who keeps kind of saying like, I've got my eye on you, but she doesn't really exactly understand what he means by that. I'm more than halfway through that. I'd go get it, but it's in my room and I don't want to. Baron, please. We've got Baron bath noises in the back. No one wants to listen to your licky noises. Little weirdo. So, then as far as movies, we've watched in the last couple days, we've watched Trick or Treat, which I liked. Neither of us had watched it before. I liked that it was almost like an anthology, but it all tied together. We watched a movie called The Tunnel, which I thought was also okay. This was a found footage movie from Australia, where these people, like journalists, go, maybe not journalists, like a news anchor goes to explore something that's been happening in like the abandoned subway tunnels in New South Wales, and there was something down there, right? We also watched Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, which actually Zach made a joke about that. Oh, about his eye. He's like, I wonder if this happened because I watched Hellraiser last night and it was funny. He's like, it just wasn't a chain. It just wasn't a chain that he got injured with. So we watched that. That one, I don't know. It's definitely not a strong Hellraiser movie, but it also wasn't boring. There wasn't a ton of pinhead action in it until the very end. We watched Halloween 2. Oh my god, I cannot tell you how lucky I felt that if this had to happen, if one of us had to be hospitalized, thank god it was in October, because the AMC channel at the hospital was playing horror movies the entire time. So we watched Halloween 2 on Friday night. And we started, when I left, the Rob Zombie Halloween had started playing. So I watched part of that before I left, and I don't know, Zach watched some other shit on there. So then last night, because we watched Halloween 2, we decided to watch Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, which is one of my favorite Halloween movies. I like that one a lot, especially the ending. And then last night, we watched Pin, which I have been dying to watch. It's been really hard to find it streaming anywhere. Like, it's not even on fucking Tubi, which seems strange, but I did find it on YouTube, along with the movie Alucarda, which, like, a couple weeks ago I pulled that card, and then it wasn't streaming anywhere like it said it was when I looked it up, like, a week before. So if I pull that card again, I'm gonna watch Alucarda. But we watched Pin, and I don't know, I feel like there was maybe a movie or two in there. I know we watched more than Pin yesterday, but I also can't remember what it was, which is, 1, says something about the movie, and 2, says something about my memory. Okay, so now we can move on to my roll. On my last turn, I landed on a novella, which was Candy, and since I'm done with that, I can roll again. 8! Holy moly! Got my pointer. So let's see, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A candy! That's an activity! I wonder what it will be. I wonder. I'm just gonna take the donate blood card out of there for now because I haven't gotten my notification yet that I can donate blood again. I could have sworn they said October because they're always like, your next donation can be as soon as blah, 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 you know? And I could have sworn it was an October date, but maybe it was later in the month. What's it gonna be? What's this card? Spooky snackies. Okay. Do I have any spooky snackies? Am I gonna have to go get some spooky snackies? So, I have some homework today. I went to class this morning. I'm good for me because I haven't gone the last 2 Mondays, the last 2 lecture days. And I'm glad I did because we're getting into, it's a computer accounting applications class. So some of it was like Excel, the first half of the class. Not like the first half of the class every day that I'm in there, but like the first half of the semester is what I'm meaning to say, is Excel, which I'm fairly familiar with. I've taken other classes, used it in other classes, used it on my own with my strange projects I like to make for myself. And so pretty familiar with Excel, but now last week we started QuickBooks, and last week it was more like reading chapters and we had like a couple quizzes to take on a couple different chapters. But today was like getting into it, and there was some shit I had to fill out on QuickBooks where it's like, I know that if I put something wrong in here, it asks you a bunch of questions. It's like, is this a sole proprietorship? Is this a this? What state are you in? Are you going to be taxed? Right? And I'm like, I don't know, because it's not about me. It's about, what would you call it? The cases that we're going to have to go through. So it's not my own information. It's a fake company that I'm working for, basically. So I was like, fuck, what if I do something wrong? And I was like, I need to go to class today. And I did. So congratulations to me. Zach is doing great. His eye, the first day the sutures kind of bothered him when he blinked, so we I taped his eye down, but he also has to have this ointment on it, right? Which makes his eyelid kind of greasy and goopy. So I had to like tape like an inch above and an inch below his eye. Like tape, and it didn't really tape the eye down very well because the eye wants to look. It's his dominant eye, it wants to look. So then we put a patch over the tape, and that seemed to help. But luckily now it's looking like so much better. When he first got it done, you could not see that there was any sutures there. You couldn't see that there had been a tear in his eyelid. I was like, oh my God, this is insane. But now, you know, in the last couple days, you can see, you know, the sutures have gotten kind of, any goop that's been on his eyelid goes on to the sutures, and you can see now that it's gotten kind of crusty on the, you know, where the split in his eyelid was. But the sutures aren't bothering him. He doesn't have to wear an eye patch. He can drive. And yeah, so his eye's doing good. It looks like he has a big old black eye, but otherwise you could barely tell that anything's happened. We're back to normal. And hopefully I can get my life back on track here, because it was like, yesterday I was sitting around and I was like, dear God, our house is like a horrible mess. How did this happen? It's only been like 2 days. So I cleaned a bunch and didn't do a lot of anything else. And now today I'm going to do my homework, and I'm going to fucking read, and I know I have some gummy bats for sure, and maybe I've grabbed something else, because I do try, you know, if I see it and it's spooky in October, I will grab it because I want to contribute to the Halloween commercialism. That will be my day, and maybe I'll see you later. Hey pals, good morning. It is Tuesday morning, and I made a mess here last night, and I did not finish what I was doing, so I'm gonna have to deal with this today because I need to work on some fucking homework. It is raining outside. Last time I filmed here, I noticed I was getting some weird like electrical sounding feedback, almost like if you have your phone near a speaker, if you get like a text message, it'll like buzz a little bit in the speaker, kind of like that. So if you're hearing that, I'm sorry. I don't know what that's from because I filmed here before and it's been fine. I don't have any like new electronics over here or anything like that. Beautiful day out. It's pouring rain. I had to take my idiot dog out and she like was just being her normal dumb self, I guess, but it's like, oh my god, it was so rainy. Lavi was trying to text me at the bus stop because I told her to bring an umbrella, and she is a preteen and she didn't want to bring that umbrella, and it was like, okay, put it in your backpack at least just in case. And she's like, no. So I said, all right. And now she was texting me while I was trying to take the dog out, and I couldn't text her back because my phone was so wet. I couldn't even, like, I tried bending over it. I was wearing a fucking raincoat. I tried like bending over it and blocking the rain, but I just like couldn't. And she's like, I'm wet and I got poked by a cactus. I was like, well, I mean, I'm really fucking sorry that you're wet, but I did tell you that you needed to bring the umbrella. So I guess this is just like one of those things where I feel like I'm a bad parent, but also I did warn her, and now she's suffering the natural consequences of that. And hopefully next time she'll bring the GD umbrella. Should have brought the umbrella, my friend. So, okay, I'm here really to eat some spooky snacks. I've got here a spooky Hostess cupcake, spooky cakes. Zach bought those. And also some sour bats that I bought like, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago. So hopefully those taste okay. When I was looking at them, all of them were a little bit like squished. Hopefully they're fine. I'm going to eat my spooky snacks, maybe tell you about what's going on here, and also tell you about this book I finished last night. First though, have you ever tried eating something upside down? Because I think it'll change how you eat things sometimes. For example, you eat this, right? Frosting up. But have you ever tried it frosting down? It's better. Maybe just because it's a little bit different. I like the texture of the frosting on the bottom. I do this frequently though with things. It's like, how about we try it upside down? See how we like that. Sometimes it's way better. For whatever reason. Sometimes it's just the same. My 4-year-old niece was over here the other day. We call her Pom Pom. And Pom Pom was over here. She is such a cute little sweetie. And she was like, oh, it's so cute here. It's so spooky. I want to come here all the time. And I was like, yeah, like, you do come here pretty regularly, you know? I gave her a spooky cupcake. And she's like, I've never had one of these before. And I was like, they're good, you know? And she was eating it. She like took the first bite and she's like, oh, I like the frosting. And I was like, yeah, it's good, huh? And then she got to the middle and her mind was fucking blown. And it was just really cute. So what I've been doing here, and listen, I do realize I'm going to need more than one of these, but months ago, I saw someone using, I think it's called a traveler's notebook, for their stickers, because it's like waxy paper. You can put your stickers on there and then reuse them. So I was thinking this might be a great way to reorganize some of the stickers that I have, because as you can see, I have dozens, hundreds of sheets. These ones just right here are all from Sticky, and I have a couple more sheets that I haven't even organized. I've been trying to figure out how to categorize them so that when I put them in here, it'll be easy for me to be like, oh, I want a sticker with a bird on it. And then I'll flip to where I have birds. But of course, they're not all as simple as what type of critter is on this. So I've got some that are like magical creatures. Of course, I will be able to use my eyes to look, but you know what I mean, right? Some of these are like technology stickers, academia feeling. Although these ones are like cats, I guess I could put them also with the cats. Science fiction stickers, which include some aliens. Food related stickers. Some of these are kind of hard. I've got bugs, which some of my bug stickers also have other things on them, and I'm like, am I gonna put this with the bugs? But then some of them are mostly actually bugs. So, I don't know. I've got ones pertaining to nature, anything spooky. We've got dog stickers, and of course, Los Gatos. Some are just like other animals. Some I just legitimately don't know. They don't really fit with anything else I have. Some are kind of just old-timey feelings or old-timey seeming. Really, I'm just trying to make some space. I've had this binder for the sheets because if you have a sticky subscription, you get like this little plastic sleeve every month with a certain amount of sticker sheets. So I had so many like sticky packs in this that it was almost to the point where I couldn't close it. Like they're all bent up like this. I was like, I just have to do something to cut down on this huge binder. So that's a really boring talk about my stickers. Let's get at these bats. I also do have mummy Pockies that Zach found at the grocery store. But I haven't eaten anything. This is the first thing I'm eating today. And I don't think I need a cupcake, period, for breakfast. Let alone a cupcake and sour bats. Let alone a cupcake, sour bats, and Pocky. This one tastes like medicine. It is more sour than I would have thought though. There's orange and blackcurrant, green apple and blackcurrant, and cherry and blackcurrant. Is that why it tastes kind of weird? Do I not like blackcurrant? I don't even know what that's supposed to taste like. I could have sworn that I've had these before though. Oh, they are a little sour. So weird. Here's the green apple. Why are these actually sour? My mouth is salivating so much, I'm gonna like leak all over everything. Okay, then there's the orange. The green apple is fine. I kind of can't believe that those are actually sour. Ugh. Okay. Well, those are my spooky snackies. Anyway, I finished this book last night. I think I'm alone now. This book takes place in like 1985, and it's following this teenage girl named Dory. She is the child to a single mother. Her mother is working all the time, which means Dory is alone a lot at home. And she does have some friends in the area, but she is home alone a lot. And this traumatic thing happened in her like recent past, and since then people keep asking her like, are you okay after, you know? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, she's defensive about it. But she does notice, at least inside herself, that there are things she can do that would before have bothered her, and now she feels really emotionless about it. She also has this weird neighbor named Mr. Frank who he just like appears places and seems to be watching Dory, and it's kind of fucking creepy. And she doesn't really know what to make of that. And I think that's all I'm going to tell you. This did go a direction that I was so surprised by. And it really took this book up a notch, you know? This was excellent. I really liked this a lot. I liked this leaps and bounds better than the other one of this author's books that I read, which is called To Offer Her Pleasure. I just didn't really dig that one at all. But this was really good, and I think that the less that you know about it, probably better. I should roll again, since I ate my spooky snacks. Look how far I've come on my board. I might make it to the end this year. Okay, so 1, 2, pumpkin, that is a movie. Okie dokie, artichoke. Speaking of movies, last night Zach and I watched The Wind, which is a movie from 2019. It's like a historical horror about these people homesteading on the prairie. They are the only family out there until they aren't. They have some neighbors. At the very beginning, there's like this horrible thing that happens with one of the neighbors, and the wife of the first couple gets left behind while the other men, the two men, go take care of some stuff, I guess. And she's been noticing very frightening things happening at night, and her husband just keeps telling her it's the wind. Don't worry, it's the wind. And it might not be the wind. I thought it was pretty good. I think it felt a little bit disjointed, but on purpose. Not like my favorite movie I've ever seen, but not a bad one. Let's see, where are we today? There's probably a bunch of movies I need to pull out of here. Ah, Treehouse of Horrors! Yes! You know what? I think I have like the first 5 seasons of The Simpsons. I should just go ahead and watch all of them today. Why not? Zach doesn't want to watch Frankenhooker. He was like, you know, I don't really like horror comedies. But like, and I know like Frankenhooker is a horror comedy, but it's not like slapstick. Which also makes me wonder, since Zach doesn't like horror comedies, do you think he wouldn't like Brain Damage? Because that one is so funny, but like, is it a comedy? He just needs to trust my judgment and watch Brain Damage and Frankenhooker. Fang, come here, Fang. You can't just look at me like that. All disgruntled. Here's my fat little Fangy. She was just sitting on the ground looking at me, all upset looking. Tell the people about your stinky face. Okay, I'm sorry. Poor beleaguered Fangy. Okay, that's all I've got for you. See you tomorrow. I was doing my homework dutifully, and this package arrived, and I want to show you what's in it. I'm so excited. I can't believe it came so quickly. Also, I watched 3 Treehouse of Horror episodes. Apparently, the first season didn't do that, so I watched 2, 3, and 4. Well, I watched 1, 2, and 3 on seasons 2, 3, and 4. Best one, hands down, season 3. Today I got in the mail, oh my god, this Arrow Video collection. This is the Anthology 3, and then it's kind of like sister anthology, 3 Extremes, which I honestly haven't even seen the first one. 3 Extremes was a pivotal collection, pivotal viewing moment for me when I was first starting to watch foreign horror as a teenager, but specifically like Asian horror. So look how beautiful that is. It looks so cool. This is the back. And then you take off the little slipcase. And this is what it's like inside. 3 and 3 Extremes. Has a promo for Texas Chainsaw Massacre in it. Oh, I think it has a little poster too. Double-sided poster. 1 for 3 and 1 for 3 Extremes. So it's like a little poster with images depicting things that happen in the short films. Pre-ordered this like the moment I saw it. I was so excited, especially to get a nice copy of 3 Extremes, which I don't have at all. Hey pals, it's me again. It is Wednesday morning. My cats are noisily eating. I don't know if you can hear them, but I can. They're little kibbles. What am I here for? I am here to tell you about what I did yesterday. I'm drinking a very seasonal coffee from Dutch Bros. It's the pumpkin brulee cold brew. And I don't typically love like that spiced pumpkin spice. I don't really like those spices together a ton. But this is pretty good, actually. It's really toned down, I think, because it's a cold brew coffee. I didn't order... It comes with like this cold foam topping, pumpkin syrup, and like pumpkin drizzle on top, and then like sugar. So I didn't order the drizzle or the sugar, just the cold foam. And I think that makes it better for me. who I don't need like a super sugary ass coffee, and I don't need the extra pumpkin flavor. I just don't. So this is pretty good. Last night, oh my gosh, it was rainy almost all day yesterday. It was so nice. When Zach got home, we literally sat in bed until like we went to sleep. It was nice and relaxing. We ordered Chinese food from our favorite, well, my favorite Chinese food place. I don't know if that's his favorite, but I think it's the best in town. So last night we watched 2 movies. We watched one that was on my list called Kotoko, which was a Japanese movie, and boy, this movie was fucking bonkers. This is about a young single mother in Japan, and she keeps saying that she's seeing double, but it's not like actual double vision where it's like 2 images of the same thing that you're seeing. It's like she can't keep track of what is real and what isn't, because for example, there's a scene where her baby is in one part of the room and then she looks to the other part of the room and her baby's also there doing something different. And so she's like, well, which one is my real baby doing things? It's not like actual double vision. It's like she's hallucinating doubles of people. This woman is just like severely mentally ill. So her son's not with her, and she really wants to have this baby back, even though it seemed, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say even though it seemed like she was having a tough time, because lots of moms have a tough time and still love their children. But it's like she's not doing much to actually help herself get her child back. Like, she's not trying to help herself and fix the problem that got the baby taken away in the first place. She's just trying to, I don't know, like wait until she can have her baby back, kind of. And I don't really know what to tell you. There's not like a huge plot line. It's more like character driven. This movie made me so anxious. Also, there are like 5 minutes long parts where she's singing, and it makes me feel very uncomfortable, and I don't know why. Would recommend that. That's a movie from 2011. And now I'm going to roll my dice again and see what kind of card I pull up. Okie dokie, let's see what we are working with here. A 2. 1, 2. That puts us here on a bat, which means I'm picking a novella, which is good because I finished I Think I'm Alone Now. Please be a fucking good one. Please be a good one. Okay. Ooh, Wisteria Cottage, actually. This is one I was thinking about. Actually, I think it was Michael, the horror gardener. He told me he liked this one. And when I was reading the synopsis, I was like, ooh, this sounds like it could be really good. So let me go get that. This is one that's a little bit longer. It's almost 200 pages. Published in 1948. That's insane. I don't think I've read anything that's like earlier than the 60s. Synopsis for this says, to Florence Hackett and her daughters Eleanor and Louisa, Richard Bowery, a handsome young bookstore clerk and aspiring poet, seems a little odd but harmless enough. With his amusing conversation and his eager-to-please attitude, Richard works his way into the Hackett's confidence until he's almost one of the family. When he suggests they rent Wisteria Cottage, a charming seaside residence, it seems to promise a summer of pleasant companionship and fun. What the Hacketts don't know is that Richard is a deeply troubled individual recently released from a mental institution, and that their relaxing summer holiday will soon turn into a terrifying nightmare. So this sounds like it could be a good summer horror book, but here it is on my list for fall anyway. I do love the trope of somebody worming their way into the family, and it turns out that they aren't the person that you thought they were, kind of a thing. This is also reissued by Valancourt Books. It's got this magnificent cover. I love the colors on this. It's like a moody sunset. And yeah, okay, so I will start that today. All right, so that's what I'm going to get up to today, I suppose, and I will give you an update when there is an update to give. Hey everybody, it is Thursday, and I have another package from The Broken Binding. So this is the last book in the series. That was like my first subscription, my first series with them. So I'm gonna open that, see if I can melt this plastic off quick, because I don't have a scissors. Listen, I know I could just walk into the other room. However, I didn't want to, I guess. So I have not started reading Wisteria Cottage yet. I'm hoping to do that today. I think it's kind of bullshit, honestly, but I have midterms for 2 of my classes this semester. One of them, I mean, it's midterms week this week. So I had midterm for 1 class, and there was also an assignment due. And I'm a little bit salty about that because I had to do an assignment and take my midterm test. It's kind of bullshit. And then my other class, the midterm, is next week. And luckily it's a paper, which I am exponentially more confident about. Okay, it looks like there is a promo for something called The Scour by Richard Swan. I don't know what that is. And this is the last book in the Between Earth and Sky series by Rebecca Roanhorse. The first 2 books were Black Sun and Fevered Star. But man, I feel like this shipped out so quickly after the last one. It's crazy. Oh, this is a thick book. This is called Mirrored Heavens. Oh my god, I love this cover. Look at that. I do really love octopuses. So let's see if I can hold this open in a way where I'm not gonna damage anything. Look at that. That's great. Ooh! Love that foil. There is the, I called that the spine the other day when I was talking about the other book. That's not the spine. I don't know what that part of the book is called, honestly. But these are the end pages. The sprayed edges, that's probably what I should say. Then this, beautiful, wonderful. And now, what I'm most excited about is to see all 3 of them together. Okay, so what do you think? This is how they'll look on the shelf. And honestly, I don't know if the 3rd one really looks like it fits that well. There's just way more color on it than the other 2. Let's see what the sprayed edges look like though. Oh yeah, that is wonderful. Look at that. Cool. So, that's my contribution for today. I really need to edit my vlog from last week. So I need to do that because tomorrow is Friday and that is the last day for this week's vlog. And then I have to edit this one. What did we watch? Wait, hold on. What did we watch last night? Oh yeah, we watched Tragedy Girls last night, which was a fun slasher. It's not like the best, most fun movie I've ever seen. I don't think Zach really liked it. He was kind of tuned out and like looking at his phone and shit, but I thought it was okay. So that's what I watched last night. And I don't know what I'm gonna watch tonight. Hopefully something good. Hello everyone, it is Friday. I have finished, I read my ass off and I finished Wisteria Cottage by Robert M. Coates. I feel kind of so-so about it. This wasn't really an intense horror book. It's about this man named Richard, and he clearly has some issues. He's, I wouldn't say ingratiated himself into this family, but this family, that's the mother and 2 daughters, have 2 adult daughters, have kind of taken him in as, I mean, they even say, like, you're like a member of the family, Richard, blah, 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 kind of a thing. And he really needs that. He's a lonely, weird guy, a little bit. He finds this summer cottage for them. He calls it Wisteria Cottage, and the family, the Hacketts, decide to summer there. But Richard, he has these, like, growing, resentful feelings for certain members of the family. And he also kind of becomes obsessed with this idea that, like, because he found this cottage for them, that he has some sort of ownership of it, even though he's not the one who's paying for their summering there. There are some things that some of the family members do in this where you're like, yeah, that would be pretty annoying, but not to the extent that Richard takes it. He really takes it as like a personal slight, like it gets to the point where he's like, these are bad people, and he really wants to get one of the sisters out of there because the other two family members are like corrupting her and like this weird stuff. And it's like, it's just not like that. He just has very intense feelings and doesn't know what to do with them. It's really like this really long build up to an explosive ending, and then it's done. So I thought it was okay. It has a little bit of a gothic feel, especially with this Wisteria cottage. It's not necessarily a book where the house itself feels like a character, but because he has this obsession over it, that's kind of a, you know, a gothic trope. And now to roll my dice and see what I'm getting up to today. Okie dokie. Oh, my slipper's stuck. I rolled a 4, so from here that takes us 1, 2, 3, 4 places to a novella. I skipped 3 spots that would have been really fun, but womp womp. It is what it is. Oh my god, there were 2 freebies, an activity before it, and after it, 2 activity spots. But I landed on the only novella spot in sight. See what we're dealing with. The extra! I already read that. For a second I got really excited. I was like, the extra! But I already read it. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. Zero Saints by Gabino Iglesias. Let me go get that. This one's also a little bit longer than like typical novella length, but it's still under 200 pages. Fernando has seen better days. On his way home from work, some heavily tattooed gangsters throw him in the back of a car and take him to an abandoned house where they saw off his friend's head and feed the man's fingers to something. The message is clear. This is their territory now. But Fernando isn't put down that easily. Using the assistance of a Santeria priestess, an insane Puerto Rican pop sensation, a very human dog, and a Russian hitman, he'll build the courage and firepower he needs to fight a gangbanger who's a bit more than human. Something about this, oh, what's that? I can't remember that guy's name, but there was this cartel in Mexico, and the leader was like super into like occult practices. I can't remember what his name was, but that's what this reminds me of, and that makes me very excited. Yes, it says the first novel from one of the most electrifying voices in contemporary horror fiction. But he's also written The House of Bone and Rain, The Devil Takes You Home, Coyote Songs. Is this like one that is just now being published that he wrote previously? Or are the other ones all like short story collections? Or what? Oh, okay, so this was written in 2015. That explains why the back says that. I do have his book, The Devil Takes You Home. It's on my like most anticipated cart. And actually, the colors of this match. How neat is that? They're actually a tiny bit Halloween-y. That's cool. So I haven't read any of his work, but I think I follow him on social media and I really love what he posts shit because he's very smart, I think, and I like listening to what he has to say, so I'm really excited to finally pick up one of his books. So these are my plans. This is my plan for today. If I don't check in again today, this is the end of whatever week we are, week 4 of Halloween-a-thon. And if I don't see you again today, I'll see you tomorrow at the beginning of the next week. Thank you for watching once again. Goodbye.